Goalie Squad, welcome back to 70 Pounds of Life, my channel where I talk about weight loss and fitness and nutrition and what I eat in a day and vlogs and workouts and you name it. Some fashion hauls coming up, which I am very excited about. Today is Friday, so that means it's a 5-minute Friday video where we talk about a subject for 5 minutes. I choose the subject based off of last week's 5-minute Friday video, so make sure that you guys are commenting down below in this video and letting me know what you want to talk about in next week's Friday 5-minute Friday video. It doesn't have to be health related or fitness related. It can be about anything really, so let me know what you want to talk about. I'm gonna straighten you guys out real quick because I'm looking a little lopsided. It's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so today's video we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting, and this video is long overdue. I've been wanting to talk about it for such a long time. I've just never gotten around to it. So we're going to talk about the reasons why I like intermittent fasting and some of the benefits, and I'm also going to let you guys know some studies that have been not so, what am I trying to say here? Some studies that showed some not so great things that could come from intermittent fasting. So we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of intermittent fasting, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about how to get started on intermittent fasting. Just a heads up, tomorrow is December 1st and it's the start of Vlogmas, where I'm going to be putting a video out every single day for the month of December. Lord help me. I'm going to try my best, but I do Vlogmas every year and I have to do it because I do it every year. This will be my 3rd year doing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with intermittent fasting. So the first thing that I like about intermittent fasting is that it is super duper convenient. I have gone through the phase of saying or following the guideline of you should eat every 2 to 3 hours to boost your metabolism, and that was very, very hard for me to keep up with for a few reasons. One, I live a very busy lifestyle. I'm always on the go, and so taking the time to eat every 2 to 3 hours and then also putting the energy in to make sure that I'm eating healthy every 2 to 3 hours is a lot. Even planning out my meals and meal prepping, I'm living out of Tupperware and it's just a lot to think about. And not only that, but I have food addiction, so it can be kind of triggering for me to have to think about food every 2 to 3 hours throughout my day. Like, I just want to be able to live my life and not have to think about food all of the time. So that's why intermittent fasting has been so great for me, and I've been doing it over the past year on and off. And I'm really happy that I'm doing this video right now because I'm getting back on the intermittent fasting train paired with the keto diet, which I haven't been doing that well at keto over the past few months, but I'm gonna really give it a go over the next four weeks through Vlogmas, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know how that's going for me and the results that have come from pairing keto and intermittent fasting. Some of the benefits of intermittent fasting, yes, I wrote notes down because I have to stay on topic. Some of the benefits of intermittent fasting, studies have shown that it aids in fat loss, and there's a lot of health benefits. So one of the benefits is that it increases your sorry, I just got very confused. Something just flew by my window. It increases your metabolic rate, which means that you're burning more calories doing day-to-day things. Like, it takes energy and you're burning calories just to like lift your arm up. So by increasing your metabolic rate, you're increasing the amount of calories that you're burning just to stay alive throughout the day, if that makes any sense. So then you're burning energy from your fat storage in your body because you're fasted, you don't have any food to burn off of. A lot of people think that intermittent fasting is starving yourself, which is not the case. So let's say if someone who's eating every 2 to 3 hours, their goal is to eat 1,400 calories in a day, and they're spreading that out throughout the day every 2 to 3 hours. With intermittent fasting, you're still gonna be eating the same amount of calories. You're just gonna be doing it in a smaller window, which for me is really good, like I said, because of the food addiction and thinking about food every 2 to 3 hours. I'm still getting those calories in, but I'm only having to think about it in a small window in the day. So for me, I'm fasting for 16 hours a day, and then I'm eating 8 hours within the day. So between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. is my window of eating, which I'm thinking about pushing it back a few hours because I'm finding it really hard at night. I'm wanting to eat something. So, I mean, it wouldn't hurt me to push it from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. because I don't really feel like eating in the mornings anyways. And I do find like I can go until 4 p.m. without eating a meal. And I think it's just because I've gotten so used to intermittent fasting, but I've never been a big breakfast person. So intermittent fasting works really well for me. Some of the other health benefits that studies have shown is that it lowers insulin levels. So if you're pre-diabetic, intermittent fasting might be really good for you. But if you have been diagnosed with diabetes, intermittent fasting is probably not the best thing for you. Always check with your doctor before you start any type of new way of eating, especially if you've already been diagnosed with an issue. It also increases the human growth hormone, which is basically a hormone that helps with cell regrowth and removing toxins and building lean muscle in your body. So that is a great hormone, and it helps to increase the growth hormone. And then also it improves your immune function. There's been studies showing that people who do intermittent fasting, their immune system is stronger than the person who doesn't. And then lastly, brain function improves as well, which I can personally attest to this. Whenever I'm doing intermittent fasting, I feel like I can just think a lot clearer than if I were not intermittent fasting. And I think that partially goes to when I'm not intermittent fasting and I'm thinking about food throughout the entire day, it's just like it really messes with me here mentally, and I can't focus on other things. So those are some of the reasons that I like intermittent fasting. I do want to just throw this out. I was reading a few articles, and there's been a few, I don't know how many, but there's been a few studies showing that it could affect the female reproductive system. So if that's something that you're worried about, then I would encourage you to, again, talk to your physician or to do your own research on that and see if that's something that you want to do or not. So just a little food for thought there. Okay, so ways to start intermittent fasting. My first piece of advice would be to not just completely jump into it cold turkey. Ease yourself into it. And I say this about everything. Like, I've said this before about starting a weight loss journey. So for example, if you don't work out at all and you have just been eating whatever you want, whenever you want, you don't want to go 100% right away because you'll get overwhelmed, because you have to figure out a new way of eating, what foods are appropriate to eat, and then you're also learning like how to do exercises. And first off, when you go into changing your nutrition, your body goes through a detox and you get all shaky and you get hungry, and that's your body detoxing. So if you were to throw working out on top of that, yeah, you're probably not going to last very long because you're not going to be feeling that great and you're going to be overwhelmed. So take it one step at a time. So that goes with intermittent fasting as well. So if you wake up in the mornings and you have breakfast at 8 a.m., start out by having breakfast at 9 p.m. and then a few days later have breakfast at 10 p.m. Like, take it slow and gradually push back your time of eating. You don't have to jump in the pool all the way right away. You can take it slowly and you can ease into it. Another tip that I have, of course, is to stay hydrated, drink lots of water. When you're in the fasting time zone, you can have water, you can have black coffee, you can have, you know, those like Crystal Light, like 0 calorie, 0 sugar things that you pour into your water. You can have that. You can drink anything that is 0 calorie, and most likely that won't push you out of your fasting. But of course, I would recommend just trying to drink water or black coffee, because black coffee will help suppress your appetite as well. But you can't have anything in the coffee. Like, it has to be just black. And I don't enjoy black coffee at all. So if you do, you do that. The next thing that I have is to keep busy. So If you're waking up in the mornings and you would usually have breakfast right away, try and keep yourself busy by doing other things so that way you're not focused on if you're feeling hungry. Yes, you're going to feel hungry when you first get into intermittent fasting, but I promise you guys, your body will get used to it. So for example, me, and I'm sure some of you have done this or do this as well. I don't have to set an alarm clock in the morning anymore. My body just wakes up naturally, and that's because I got myself into the habit of waking up at a certain time, and then it's like my internal clock kind of just went with it and got used to it, and now I wake up by myself at that time every day. So it's gonna be the same thing with your eating. Right now you're used to eating at 8 a.m. in the morning. So of course your body is gonna be like, oh, it's 8 a.m., it's time to eat. But I promise you, maybe a week or two into intermittent fasting, your body will get used to it and it'll get on board with the whole like pushing back your meal times. Another thing that I would recommend is planning your meals. So you still need to have some type of plan, especially if you're new into intermittent fasting, because when it comes time, that window starts for you to eat, you're probably gonna be hungry. And if you haven't planned out what you're going to eat, then you might be grabbing for whatever is in front of your face. So just be smart about it and plan out your meals. And like I said previously, you're able to eat larger meals rather than having like small 100 to 100, 200 calorie meals every 2 to 3 hours. You can have bigger meals and you'll be more fulfilled. So make sure that you're planning those out. For me personally, I have 2 large meals and then a snack in between those large meals, and it keeps me full throughout the entire day, especially with keto, eating high fat. You just don't crave food. It just keeps you fuller longer. And then the last thing that I have is take a break from working out until it becomes easy and natural. So that just goes back to what I was saying about, you know, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So if you're starting out with intermittent fasting, like I said, you're probably going to be hungry until your body gets used to that. And when you work out, it's burning calories, when you're just gonna feel even more hungry. So maybe in the first like week or two, try and stay away from working out in the mornings. Maybe get your workouts in midday or in the evenings once you've gotten some food in your system. Just be smart about it, play with it, figure out what works for you. That's all that I have for this video, and we are definitely over the 5-minute mark, but that is okay. Is it? Is it really a 5-minute Friday video then? Why do I look so pale? This lighting is rough. Okay guys, that's all that I had. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember, as always, you hold the power in your hands to make any changes in your life that you want to make, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys.